McDavid. Moves in, McDavid goes upstairs! What a goal!
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to this NHL 21 line chemistry tutorial here on my channel. If you guys are looking for more tutorials and stuff like this, please make sure you go down below in the comments. One, ask a question if you have any. I will be going down there and making sure that I respond to every comment available. And two, make sure to like the video if you do enjoy it or find it helpful in any way. And also subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. We're releasing weekly NHL content, and a sub is very much appreciated. So today, guys, we are going to break down what I have as about 8 steps to making sure that your line chemistry is set up as good as it possibly can be for NHL 21. So guys, as you can see, I'm not even in a franchise mode save yet. The reason being is that step 1 of this process is that you can no longer change player types, which makes improving your line chemistry extremely difficult now that you cannot change player types in save. So this means that you're going to have to go over to your rosters and you're going to have to click edit players if you want to change player types. This is the only way you can do it. I know it's extremely annoying. I wish EA could change it or would go back, but they're not going to do that, obviously. So instead, we have to go through and deal with this issue like so. So as you can see, I'm looking at the different player types here, and I'm trying to make the best decision based on each player, make sure that their player type fits what I believe I'm going to build around. So when I look through all of these players, most of them look good. The only one that I think I'm going to change here is Tyson Jost for the Colorado Avalanche anyway. So if that's not a giveaway by the thumbnail or by what I'm doing right now, we are going to be using the Colorado Avalanche as the example for this. So anyways, Tyson Jost, I'm going to change to a playmaker. The only reason being here is because I believe that at a 5'11" frame and a 10th overall draft pick, he's probably going to be more of a playmaker than a two-way forward throughout his career. And just watching him in the playoffs this year as well, I would have to definitely make the argument for him being a playmaker over a two-way forward. The rest of these player types and everything look pretty good. Kadri, honestly a really good player, but definitely more of a two-way kind of player. You look at his defense, it's literally right up there with puck skill, senses, shooting, all those other things. And when you consider that compared to Tyson Jost, he has 3.5 star there, but honestly, I believe he's a playmaker with that frame at a 5'11", 191. So anyways, now that I've gone and edited the only player that I'm going to touch in this roster change there, now we can go into franchise mode and get started. Alright, so now that we are in the franchise mode and we are in the lines, you can see right away there are definitely some issues with Colorado. At least we've got a +1 on the chemistry, but you're going to have to take some time, look through player by player, and figure out who fits where, who has the best kind of chemistry. You can see, based on the scheme fit down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, who is going to fit where. And yes, at the current moment, Rantanen, McKinnon, and Landeskog all fit best on the second line. Now, if I took all these guys and decided to move them around, yes, we'd get a +5. Great, that's exactly what we want to see, except we want to see that up on the top line because obviously they are going to want first line minutes, which makes total sense. When we go to the defense, I'm seeing a lot of single check marks, which means that our coach is probably a pinch style of player, or yellow as well, you can see, but pinch, 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 those all seem to fit as far as the hold/pinch. When we get to cycle and shoot bias, it seems to be a lot of shoot versus all of our other guys, or all of our players here. When you compare current coach preference to player preference, the pinch and cycle seems to be a lot more popular. The cycling option anyways, apart from Greg Pattern, who when you look at him, he's 30 years old, 77 overall. Probably not a guy we're going to be holding on to, versus Bowen Byram. Not great, actually, a balance and shoot there. So maybe he's a prospect that we look to trade in the near future. Double balance on Connor Timmins is not an issue. but the shoot is an issue on Bowen Byram. Anyways, that's just kind of me going off on a rant on chemistry. That's not actually sticking to the script. And don't worry about goalie chemistry. They're always going to fit based on their role rather than their chemistry. There's literally no goalie chemistry, so that is fine. I really hope EA doesn't add goalie chemistry because that would make no sense. Anyways, moving on to the second step of this tutorial. So understanding your player types and how total lines are going to line up. So when you're looking at forwards, there will be a little card or a little graphic on the screen right now, but you're going to have green, yellow, or red, as you can see on Landeskog here, for your chemistry check marks or just averages or negative. So you need to add these up and think of green as a +1, yellow as a 0, and red as a -1, okay? So you'll need a total of 11 overall system points to get at least good chemistry. When we look at this line, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 check marks. So that's 9 points for, but then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against. So we're actually only at a +4 currently. If we move these guys over, you just saw the +5. We add these up again, we've got 4, 8, 12. All right, 12 is good. The yellows don't count against anything. -1 is 11. The 11 adds up to a +5 chemistry. That is exactly what we want to see. But you also have to consider player types into this scenario. Your best line fit, unless you literally have all green check marks across it, is going to be a playmaker, power forward, and sniper combination. The playmaker, power forward, sniper is always going to give you the best chemistry. Even if you have 2 playmakers, 2 snipers, 2 power forwards, anything else other than one of each of those 3 player types in your top 6, the chemistry is not going to be fully maximized. And you have to get that into your head. And that's kind of step 3, especially with forwards anyways. Now moving on to defense, we're going to need at least a +3 out of 4 to get good chemistry. As you can see, there's only 2 here really. There's only a +2. On the middle pairing, there's literally a 1, and that's why there's 0 chemistry. And on the bottom, yes, there's 2, but it's actually -1, right? So it's actually just a 1 again. And that one honestly is a -1 because you look at the 2 X's versus a check mark, it's a negative pairing even with the player types. And, same thing here again. That's really only a +1 on the top. And the reason being for this is, again, player types as well as system fits. So you can only maximize your defense if you have an offensive-defensive combination of players. So as you can see, the only reason this isn't actually a negative is because Gerard and Graves are an offensive and a defensive combo, which works quite well. It's quite nice to have those together, especially as we get further on into this video, and you guys will see me maximize this. Anyways, if you don't have an offensive-defensive combo, as you can see with the player type right there, you're going to lose chemistry, even if you have a 2-way, right? Like if we had a defensive defenseman, which I don't even know if we do have in here, not one that fits anyways. If we had a defensive defenseman that fit in here, this would be at least a +3 combo because Cale Makar is an offensive defenseman who somewhat fits, right? And obviously we're going to keep Cale Makar around. There's no way we're going to get rid of him. But that is understanding player types, and that is part 3, or this 3rd step that you need to go through to really understand player chemistry. So now on to step 4. As you can see, this coach is really not the greatest coach for this team. Line 1 of your literal, one of the best lines in the NHL here, in Ranson and McKinnon Landeskog, doesn't max out on chemistry, and they should, because all the players are similar player preference types, which is really quite frustrating when you look at it. But now we have to go through, sorry, I didn't mean to hit back. Now we have to go through and lay out our team not based on our current coach. So We need to figure out who's staying, who's going, what we're going to do for trades, that kind of thing. So, I mean, with Colorado, it should be pretty obvious that we aren't going to move a lot of players. The only players we might actually move are going to be guys like Brandon Saad, who are on a 1-year deal, maybe Burakovsky, but honestly, if we find the right system, he's probably going to fit quite nicely on a second line. And being a third line scorer, I mean, he's 25, lots of room to grow still with that potential. So we could move him around. So I'm not super focused on getting him out by any means. Again, it's just going to be older players, maybe like Belmar, but honestly, he's a two-way forward. He's going to fit in the bottom 6. Even Nishushkin, like, there's going to be options for us to move players around and get this team set up perfectly. So really, there's not a lot of moves we need to make. Again, Devon Taves, as great a player as he is, I don't know if he's going to be the best fit, but we'll figure it out as we go. And I do like to keep at least one two-way forward, if not two, or sorry, one two-way defenseman, if not two two-way defensemen in my top 6. So there's probably room for him, but we will see as we continue on here. So the players are all set. Obviously, you want to build mainly around the 2 facts of the top line needs to be maxed out on chemistry. And the second one being your 2 best defensemen are Cale Makar, who's a pinch and cycle, and Samuel Girard, who's a pinch and cycle. You go into the bottom end of this team, Bowen Byram is a movable asset. Connor Timmins probably could be held on to, but again, not like a do or die kind of player. And Alex Newhook, carry, shoot, efficient, balance, probably another guy we're going to be able to bring up in a season or 2, but I might end up trading him just for video purposes to really max out the NHL team anyways. So that's a good look at the team. That is picking out our team just based on who is going to stay, who's going to go. Really, just about everybody's going to stay. But still, we do need to go over to the coaching staff now. So looking at the coaching staff, it's honestly not the greatest. But it's not actually too far off from how I would currently set up my own team. As you can see, the staff chemistry in the right-hand corner of the screen is 85%. That is what you want to aim for, preferably. So your staff chemistry is always going to play into your team's success, and you'll want the teaching styles, as you can see right here, to kind of cover everything. And honestly, this looks like a gorgeous coaching staff for the most part, apart from maybe having an extra defensive coach in the AHL. But honestly, we might go through a full rehaul of this coaching staff here if there are other coaches available. So as you can see, this current coach, Raphael Dennis, or Denis, however you say his name, isn't really the greatest fit. He's only a 54% on this lineup, and I know we can do better than that. So, again, you can really choose based on your own lineup what kind of coaches and players and such you want to set up for your team. But when I look at this current coach, or this current available coach, Ryan McMillan, looks a lot better to me, honestly, just with the system setup he has going there. Because McMillan is a 70% fit. I look at the roles. Defensive pairing 1 at least is going to be a pinch and cycle. And the forward line 1 is going to be a great fit. By the looks of it, Kadri might have to move down. Jost might have to move up, which I'm totally okay with. But yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go out, get McMillan here as a coach. Again, I'm playing with no budget, or no owner mode. So again, McMillan should sign. And then when I go back to my coaching staff, I need a forward coach just based on the rest of the setup. Because if we look here, I preferably for you guys would recommend going after forward coaches as your coaches, especially if you're coming into a team like Colorado or such, where you can literally go through, take a look at all the different coaches like you're seeing right now. Go for, let's say, NHL associate coaches. And, the forward coaches, even though you can't really see it right now, you see how on the defensive pairings they have a pinch and shoot, or like this guy, it's not perfect, but he could be double pinch and cycle and then a pinch and balanced or something like that, or like a balanced shoot, right? It could be pinch and balance, or it could be balanced cycle, right? Like those are usually the options, especially once you get to the next off season, for coaches that are going to be available and they're going to fit your defense better. That's going to allow your defense to have a +3 or a +5 on every single pairing, which is huge for your success, especially when you get into the playoffs, because defense wins Stanley Cups. Everybody knows that by now. If you don't know that, I don't know exactly what you're doing if you even watch hockey. But anyways, build around your defense preferably. If you can get one forward line stacked on +5 chemistry, that's great, especially with Colorado here. Like their top line's going to be on +5 chemistry. If you can build some +3s around that, like honestly, you don't need a whole bunch of other lines running like crazy good. But again, it always helps to have those chemistry boosts. But build around your defense is my option, or my word of advice to you guys, even though when we look through here, there aren't really a ton of coaches there for NHL head coaches. If we go to assistant coaches, there might be one or two here that fits better. Probably not. Like this guy, as you can see, double pinch and cycle. Probably would be a great fit. But somehow is also only a 64%. Which I find, pretty interesting. Again, he's not a great overall coach and doesn't really fit our top forwards like I would like him to, versus if he was on the, second forward line, that would be better. So, again, pick and choose. Try to find your best coach. It doesn't always work out right off the bat. Sometimes you'll have to play around with it a bit. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to fire this coach. He's gone. Raphael Denis. He's gone. We're going to promote this guy to interim head coach just for now, so that we can move the rest of the forwards around. And my next option or word of advice to you guys would be to mirror your lineup, or your coaching staff, sorry. So whatever kind of system you have built in the NHL, try to find an AHL coach that has the exact same system fit. When I look at this, Frederick Drager honestly looks like he probably has that. It is very close, and I'm actually quite happy with how this looks. So I don't think we're going to have to fire him. The only guy I might change here is this Bergevin guy. Again, he's a D-rated overall coach, and again, we have other coaches. So instead, I'm going to go out and hire a defensive coach in that AHL associate role. So when we look through, again, this is just to add depth to the actual coaching staff. That's why we're going to go out and sign Vitaly Ulanov, or Ulanov, however you want to say it. So, again, you get these guys set up in the right spots, and you get a nice deep coaching staff. Your team's going to have success. There's no question. So now that that's all set up, we can look at the draft class. Again, not a big issue here. Owen Power definitely looking like he's going to be a beast in this draft. Lots of good players in here anyways, that we're probably not even going to have to worry about too much, because we are going to be picking right around 30 if things go according to plan. So, we'll get to coaching in a bit, or drafting in a bit. But anyways, let's advance. Make sure we get these coaches. So we get Vitaly Ulanov. That's good. Do we get this other guy here? Yes, we do get Ryan McMillan as well. So now that the two coaches have signed, we can go back over to edit lines, and bada bing, bada boom, +5 chemistry immediately on that top line. So now what that means is we actually have a 92 rated Gabriel Landeskog, a 97 rated Nathan McKinnon, and a 95 rated Mikko Rantanen on the top pairing. That's insane. But what's even more insane is the defense. We get a +3 with Makar and Taves. That's crazy. But Taves actually fits better on the bottom pairing. How crazy is that? He would be a great fit to have on the bottom line. And with Eric Johnson there, these guys are $6 million and how much? 4.1, so a $10.1 million bottom pairing would be kind of funny. But when you're spending that little on Cale Makar at the current point in time, those guys could become trade pieces later on, but could also be huge factors to your special teams as we get a little bit further into this. So looking at Tyson Jost, now all of a sudden, he's a better fit on the second line. He gives that a +1 immediately, which I find not surprising at all, actually. If we move Brandon Saad down to play with Kadri on the third, +1 again. Boom, it just immediately helps out. If we get a power forward on this other line here, oh my goodness, get out of the way, right? Like Calvert could fit in Rantanen's spot too. I don't think we're going to change that at all. The only players that we are going to go and add to this team, and as far as my opinion is concerned, is probably going to be a top-end defensive defenseman, and then probably, a power forward, if not 2 or 3, if we do it right. Nishushkin is a sniper, but again, fits much better there. So again, just a weird one. And, 4.9 million for Burakovsky versus Nishushkin. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it as you will. But you can kind of pick and choose which players fit. And then if your lineup isn't the way you want it, like you could see we had a -1 there going, you can go over and search players. Right? So if we do player search, you can literally go in and scout exactly what you're looking for. So let's say we're looking for a forward, let's say a second line power forward, right? That's exactly what we're looking for. Let's see what's available. So there's 13 players with that second line kind of role for a power forward. Brock Nelson looks interesting to me, except when we look at our scouting, it looks bad. I'm like, oh crap, okay, he only fits our penalty kill. Wrong, guys. This is a huge point when you're looking through scouts. If you look very closely, all of these say Coach Raphael Denis scheme fit. That's not what we want to build around. We want to build around McMillan's scheme fit, right? All right, so now that it's been a couple days, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at those exact same positions. So first off, I'm looking at the defensive defenseman, see what's available, and see if any of these guys fit better. So now, as you can see, with Ryan McMillan's coaching scheme, Jeff Petrie does not fit, whereas Colton Parayko totally does. Only problem, he's a right-handed defenseman. Hjalmarsson Manson, we don't know. Left-handed for Ryan Suter. Now, Ryan Suter could definitely be a trade piece that we look to acquire. All right, so we're making a big trade here, trying to get Colt Parayko, Zach Sanford, and Kyle Clifford in exchange for Nishushkin, Byram, Comfort, and Patterin, and that goes through. All right, guys, so as you can see now, Calvert is honestly a replica kind of fit as Rantanen. So just, when you see Matt Calvert, picture Mikko Rantanen there. But now with the trades we've made, the lineup looks so much stronger. It's a very deep team, and I am incredibly excited to see what they're able to do. Only issue that I have with this team is maybe not enough playmakers, but that I don't think is going to be a huge issue because we have enough power forwards. So guys, special teams are definitely an entirely different monster. When you look at this, you guys might just be sitting here like, what, how did this happen? What's going on? Other of you guys might be like, yes, that makes total sense. So, let me explain it to you. Power plays, which is what we're on right now, as you can see in the top corner. Power plays are probably the most complicated, but also the simplest if you build your lineup properly. So, as you can see, Gabriel Landeskog, not a great fit. Same with Pierre-Luc Dubois, not a great fit. The other three guys, all green check marks. Perfect. That's what we want to see. If I had these guys on better chemistry, who knows? Maybe it would look a lot better. Maybe we would have way better chemistry. Maybe a guy like Sanford fits better. Does he? Yes, he does. +5 chemistry. Boom. Just like that. You know, it's pretty simple to play around with a bit and get figured out. But until you actually take the time to do that, your chemistry is not actually going to improve at all. So, again, take a bit of time, play around with it, and I know I'm saying, oh, no, dress that player. Hold on. I know I'm saying that, and you guys are probably sitting here like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Trust me, I do. Let me explain the chemistry and math behind it. So, to have a +5, you can only have 4 different player types in your power play, okay? You can have a playmaker, which we have with Landeskog, a sniper, which, again, all offensively inclined players, a power forward, again, playmaker, power forward, sniper, that very, very common, gorgeous, regular combo. So those 3 player types, and then the offensive defenseman. So those are the 4 player types that you can have in your lineup. So you need between 1 and 2 of each player type, depending on how your team is built, right? I could have 2 playmakers, I could have 2 snipers, 2 power forwards, 2 offensive defensemen. Again, I would not recommend that on the defenseman to have 4 offensive defensemen in your team. I would recommend having just 2, because you only need 1 offensive defenseman per power play, as you can see with Sam Girard and Cale Makar. So, as long as your power forwards, playmakers, and other players fit properly, for the most part, like you can see we have 2 power forwards in Sanford and Dubois, you're going to max out the chemistry. So, again, if we're doing that plus minus kind of thing here, with the right player types, if you have 2, 4, 6, 7, +7 check marks per power play with those 4 player types in the lineup, you're going to get a +5. So you need to reach 7 or more. If it's 6, let's say, and it's actually a 5 with Landeskog, it's a 3. Right? If we have even Kadri in here, it's still a 3. So it's got to be 7 or more. Okay? So there's your number. 7+ per power play. On this power play, it's +3. Again, we have a 2-way forward in there with Kadri. Again, just because this team isn't quite as deep as I would like it to be with offensive players, but that happens sometimes, and there's not really a whole lot you can do about it because there are other special teams we have to deal with still. So anyways, we have a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Again, it's 6 out of 7, -1 with the 1x on Landeskog there. That's only a 6. That's actually only a 5. So the 5 gets you +3 chemistry. So that's how the power plays work. They're honestly the most complicated, but also the easiest when you understand them. Also, guys, hot take on Gabriel Landeskog, who I totally just subbed out of my lineup by accident. If Edmonton had drafted him #1 over Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, my hot take is that the Oilers would be approximately in the spot where the Colorado Avalanche are right now, based on his influence on the franchise, his leadership, and, you know, that just calming presence to take less money, for 1, and 2, the maturity to, you know, become the captain at such a young age and really lead the team in the right direction. You know, Colorado constantly making the playoffs, making it fairly far, and he's influenced other guys such as McKinnon to take quite a bit less money than they're worth. Again, I don't know, just a hot take, but again, let me know your opinion in the comments below. So guys, now on to the 4-on-4. It's a bit of a weird one how this works, but let me just explain it to you. So, Again, it's better to have those same 4 offensive player types, but even when we have guys that fit really well, we have a 2, 4, 6, 7 out of 8, right? That could be 8 out of 8, almost, if it fit perfectly. And even if it did, which by the looks of it, for some reason, it does not. Oh, it's Samuel Girard, which, bit of a weird one. Okay. So even if, there was 8 out of 8, I don't know if it would change to a +3. All you can get, I don't know if this is glitched, or if it's simply that you can't get more than a +1 overall on a 4-man power play, is that, get the guys that fit, put them into the right chemistry spots. The best you're probably going to get is +1 on here. Just, a bit of a disclaimer here, but, 2-way defensemen are okay. I wouldn't recommend them over other players per se. Like, let's say, Landeskog is good there, but would Calvert be better? Maybe. But also, would, a guy like Bjorkstrand be better? Probably. If we swap them out for, maybe not Makar, but like Sanford, right? Better fit. So yeah, again, you just play it as what works. Try to boost your chemistry on the 4-on-4, but, I can't guarantee your success on this one because it's just a weird scenario and I don't know exactly how it works. I don't think I can explain it to you guys properly because in my mind, it doesn't make total sense how the 4-man power play works. So that's 4-man power play. Maybe write it off. I tend to just try to get it to +1, and once it's there, I go, okay, that 4-man unit's going to be probably better than the 4-man PK or the 3-man PK they're facing, so hopefully they'll score. Now on to the penalty kill, and the penalty kill is a lot different, I have to say. So unfortunately, this is not exactly the most ideal penalty kill as far as chemistry goes. So let me get explaining this to you guys. So by the looks of it, we've got absolutely nothing going on here with chemistry. Everybody is on an average chemistry strategy fit, which is too bad. But as you can see, let's say I would assume you need probably a +3 on here, or you need a score of 3 to get it up to a +3, and probably a 4 out of 4 to get it to 5. I honestly don't know if I can ever say I've seen a +5 penalty kill. I think +3 might be the highest, but what you would need is 3 checkmark players that are either 2-way forwards or grinders in that position, and your most preferable option is 2 2-way forwards and 2 defensive defensemen. 2-way defensemen are okay too in this position. Same with power forwards, as you can see with Sanford. He's not negatively impacting that penalty kill at all. But this is where having the extra 2-way defenseman comes in. So having Taves in here, again, can balance this out. Maybe create some extra chemistry. Probably won't, but I would honestly say that, maybe a guy like Dubois is better. Nope, he's not. So again, it's really just a bit of a strange scenario on the PK. Not quite like the power play. I can't perfectly explain it, again, because we don't have the perfect option here. But this is the team we're going with. I still think it's going to be good. And honestly, a 0-rated penalty kill, if you have some better players on it, is not going to be that terrible. Alright, so this is how I've set up the PK. Again, it's not a good 3-man PK, but if I explain it to you guys this way, this is how it should work. You would need a +3 just to get extra chemistry on here. You need 2 out of 3 to get a +1, and you would need all defensive defensemen as well as a 2-way forward or a grinder. That again fits, but hard to come across, hard to build lineups around, or it's hard to do that with grinders and 2-way forwards. So that is the special teams. It's nothing. Oh wow, that went down. That's a strange one. Okay, it was because Taves got subbed in for my car. Cool. Don't know why that happened, but yeah, just a bit of a strange one here with the special teams, but I tried to explain it to you guys as best I could. And you know, we do have a +5 there, so that's going to be an insane power play eventually. But that's the special teams. I hope you guys understood that for the most part. And that is really it for team chemistry. So now when we go to drafting players and looking to bring in players that fit your scheme, again, it's good to know your coach. So, I mean, dump, balance, energy, block with a behind the net setup. Let's go check our coach, see if Ratty fits that at all. So his dump cycle, energy, block with a behind the net. Where would he fit? Would he even fit? Probably not. And you can see we got a 77% team fit. That's really high. I try to get it up to 80. Doesn't always happen, but it's pretty good. So behind the net, dump cycle energy block is probably the closest to a dump cycle balance block that Atu Ratty has. So he would be a 4th line fit for this team, which makes no sense when you're looking at a 2nd overall player. You want your top end players to fit the top lines on your team. And then when you're looking into later rounds, again, just make sure that the chemistry fits with your current coach. So now, guys, even though the Colorado Avalanche are 1-2-0, that was also before we went and picked up Pierre-Luc Dubois and a couple other players here. So let me simulate through a season, show you guys the difference on these guys playing, you know, at top capacity versus just regular end. I mean, honestly, Saad and Kadri could be 2nd liners, but let's see if Jost playing on that 2nd line with a +3 chemistry makes any difference. Let's say he'd score, you know, about 40 points in a season, right? Let's see if that goes up with the chemistry. Bjorkstrand, same thing. I'd say he's about a 40-point guy, maybe 20 to 25 goals. Let's see if that goes up. Dubois should score well. And then obviously McKinnon, Ranson, and those guys I'm expecting to score well. So, all right. So, guys, the Colorado Avalanche finish with a President's Trophy winning 56-22-4 record, 116 points. Nathan McKinnon is your leading scorer with 111 points. So, honestly, probably about accurate. But definitely a slight improvement on that line, as well as Pierre-Luc Dubois, 77 points in just, what, his 3rd year in the league? No, like 5th. What? He's been, what? I guess 2, no, it would be his 4th year in the league, sorry. He has been playing since he was 18. But Cale Makar, 73 points. Breakout year, no question. But stayed healthy too, which is the other thing. Oliver Bjorkstrand, 62 points, 30-goal campaign. That's pretty crazy. Tyson Jost, 59 points, not bad at all. Kadri only with 41 only. Yeah, that's such a terrible season. No, that's a very good year from him. 22 goals. Your top goal scorer is no doubt Nathan McKinnon, 51. And for goalies, we see Philip Grubauer, 31 wins. How about Adam Werner, though? 6 for 6. He might be a, what do you call it? He might be a playoff goalie. Who knows? So, yeah, for the entire league, did McKinnon win it? Oh, my, Malcolm Subban, 46 wins, my guy. Jeez. 111 is the league lead. Beautiful. Nathan McKinnon, the league leader there. So that is, yeah, that's a good season from him. It's a very good season, my goodness. Alright, and just to prove to you guys that I'm not actually playing any of this, I'm simulating series by series here. If we make it past one series, that is. But, ooh, Vancouver. Sorry, but no way. We got swept by Florida in the finals. Gabriel Landeskog, 34 points. Excuse me, what? Oh, well, that would be why. You know why they won. They had playoff Eric Stahl. Whoa. Game over, man. Game freaking over. It's not even funny. 19 points in 22 games. Yeah. So, can the Colorado Eagles win it? Oh, they literally just need one more game. And, okay, that would have been fantastic if we didn't get swept. But, anyways, Colorado Eagles somehow win the Calder Cup, and Florida wins the Stanley Cup. So, yeah, literally simulated right into the finals with that team without doing anything. And, yeah, they were very solid, no question about it. So, you guys can see what chemistry does for a team. For all the player stats in the playoffs, honestly, I get the feeling Landeskog's 21 in 24 was one of the best. Not as good as Huberdeau's, though. Yeah. Hornquist as well. Jeez, man. Jeez, Patrick Hornquist. Great player. And then, as you can see, you know, pretty much a cakewalk apart from, obviously, Florida, but Chicago as well. Bit of a tough one, but yeah, there you have it for your award winners. That just sucks for Colorado, but McKinnon with the Art Ross and Hart, Carlson with the Norris, McKinnon with the Lady Byng, Kaprizov, no question, with the Calder, Huberdeau with the Conn Smythe, Hellebuck with the Vezina, Lundqvist with the Jennings, Hjalmarsson there, yeah. Alright, McKinnon with the Lindsay, and alright. So there you guys have it from a single season sim, setting up the chemistry. You know, an absolutely fantastic team. Obviously, now we have to deal with some contracts with this team, but that is not anywhere at all for this video anymore. So that is where we're going to be wrapping it up. If you guys have any questions on chemistry, make sure that you leave them down below in that comment box. I will try to respond to every single one of them. And also, you know, if you do enjoy this video, or you did enjoy this video and you found it helpful, make sure that you drop a like on the video. It only takes a second. Also, do feel free to subscribe if you haven't. We're trying to hit 1,300 subscribers, and also hit the notification bell to never miss these uploads. But that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Etanyos signing out, and see ya.